FOX, where Donald Trump's pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth now appearing in front of the Senate today as confirmation hearings for the president-elect's cabinet selections started earlier this week. Hegseth, told a congressional committee that he wants to bring a warrior culture to the Pentagon. He's also likely to be grilled over various allegations ranging from sexual assault to workplace behavior. Joining us now to discuss all things surrounding that is Mr. Barack Lurie, political strategist and author of Keeping the Kids All Right. Good to see you, Barack, and welcome back to the show. So it's a really busy day for Mr. Pete Hegseth. Currently, the confirmation hearing's underway, and, well, just to put it plain and simple, he is already getting grilled.
The reality of it is that this is what we expected. I think they're bringing him out first because they're trying to trot out the most difficult possible nominee and get this out of the way first and then set the tone for the remaining nominees. But look, at the end of the day, it's all going to be about Republican votes versus Democrat votes. And as long as the Republican votes still hold the line and we don't lose more than one or two Republican senators, he will be approved and as the nominee for this particular defense position. So I think the questions are reasonable. It's all about testing his qualifications, whether he's qualified for the job. And I think he's holding his own quite well, as I'm hearing it right now. So qualifications seem to be in place, and there's no reason not to confirm his appointment.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this unfolds. Obviously, we will continue to take a peek into those confirmation hearings throughout the afternoon right here on the Live Zone. Let's move on to the much anticipated release of Special Counsel Jack Smith's report on the January 6th Capitol riots, including President-elect Trump's role in trying to overturn those results of the 2020 presidential election. Now, that report, by the way, comes less than a week before Trump's inauguration. In the report, Smith says his team stood up for the rule of the law and that he stands behind his decision to charge Trump for attempting to overturn the election, for which he believes Trump would have very well been convicted of had he not won re-election. Do you agree with this stance?
No, I don't think so. I mean, what else is he going to say? Is he going to say, well, you know what, this was all a big fraud on my part, and I was just doing this for political motivation purposes, and it was lawfare? Trump got it right in terms of how he viewed this whole thing. Of course he won't say this. These are true believers. They had an agenda. They wanted to make it very difficult for Trump to campaign. They wanted to have this weight on his back the entire time. There was the weight, obviously, but I think it backfired on them. To say that he would have won this case and received a conviction, how does he know? Of course he doesn't know. Prosecutors lose cases all the time. So it's very nice. It's very congratulating him to him. But he's lost so many other prosecutorial cases, and he's lost this one as well. So he's been consistent in that department. But I definitely don't think that Trump would have been convicted on this one. There was no evidence for it.
Barack, we know that in this world it's all about symbols. Yes, symbols mean a lot. In this case, I'm referring to the symbol of a garbage truck. We now know a garbage truck will be among the vehicles in the procession at Trump's inaugural parade. It's the same truck, by the way, that Trump rode to a rally in Green Bay, Wisconsin last year. Now, the company that provided the truck offered the use of the vehicle to the former and future president. What is he trying to get across here?
Well, I think he's reminding people that he is a man of the people, that he speaks for them, that this inauguration is not only about him. It's not only about the elites in Washington. In fact, it's about people who are truck drivers, garbage men, and so on, plumbers, what have you. And that's a great thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with the symbolism. He's not blocking traffic. He's not doing anything other than showing, hey, let's get this all together. We're all part of a team here. This is America. And he wants to be a representative of America. So I think it harks back to his campaign, while at the same time also showing the inclusiveness of the MAGA world and how successful it will be.
Yeah, the second time around hopefully will be a lot better for the former president. I can tell you right now, though, that if traffic becomes an issue, that may very well not happen, especially right here in the nation's capital. Let's move on to, in this case, Chinese officials reportedly exploring a plan that would allow for Elon Musk to acquire the U.S. operations of TikTok if the app is banned. Although TikTok denies just that. Bloomberg now reporting China considering Musk as part of a broader talk on handling relations with the incoming Trump administration. Can this and will this happen, Barack?
Well, I see nothing wrong with it. I mean, Elon Musk is a very wealthy man, and obviously he has one of the greatest resources to be able to buy TikTok under whatever terms the United States and China ultimately agree upon. So it's a natural target for purchase by the Chinese. I don't think that there's anything nefarious about it. I mean, the ultimate goal is to make sure that TikTok is no longer owned by the Chinese government. But if it's owned by if it's not owned by Elon Musk, then it'll be owned by somebody else that's very wealthy, whether it's, I don't know, Bill Gates or somebody else like that. So it's totally fine, in my opinion. If the Chinese, now to your second question, want to use or hope to use Elon Musk as some sort of liaison to be able to communicate with Trump, I guess that's fine. But the Chinese have Trump himself to speak with. So I don't necessarily think that that's the best plan on the part of the Chinese. They've got his ear, and he's always had good relations with the premier of China. So I don't necessarily think that's a big issue. But the sale of TikTok to Elon Musk, why not?
Yeah, with regard to Mr. Musk, we know that he should and may very well, we expect him to be at the inauguration. Speaking of Mr. Musk, that's not the only star power that will show up come Monday. In this case, we're talking about the musicians that plan to take part in the inauguration. The Village People, Kid Rock, Billy Ray Cyrus, all set to perform Sunday night at the Victory Rally, and that's at the Capital One Arena. Carrie Underwood now scheduled to sing America the Beautiful at the inauguration ceremony, with Lee Greenwood performing his song Proud to Be an American. A lot of star power in the room there, Barack.
I think it's wonderful. And by the way, I'll be at the inauguration myself. I'm very much looking forward to it. But as far as the music is concerned, with all the players that you just mentioned, including the Village People, who are famous for the YMCA song that he loves to dance to, I think it's wonderful. It shows that Trump is connected to industries of all kind, including the music industry as well. It does not belong solely to the Democrat Party. And it's kind of cool. People want to feel excited about their new president. I know that I feel excited about Trump becoming president again. And music is part of that process. And it's all inclusive, and it's going to be a lot of fun and joy. And I think America should get behind this, at least for these couple of days during the inauguration. Just enjoy it. Just let him have his time in the sun and have some fun with it at the same time. And then you can challenge him if you like on his policies this way and that. But for now, it's only a celebration. Let's have some fun.
Barack, I'm still working on that why part. I got to fix it before Inauguration Day to make sure I can do the same. Hey, sir, we'll end with this, and that is a lot of chatter, a lot of speculation with regard to former First Lady Michelle Obama. That's still being discussed. What exactly am I referring to? Well, her not appearing at Jimmy Carter's funeral. A lot of folks on the internet, social media saying, hey, what gives? No response as yet. I'm curious, your take to all of this.
Well, look, I mean, whether she was not there because she was sick or some other reason, she has to understand that her absence would create a bunch of rumors and speculation as to why she wasn't there. And the only loud speculation is because she's making some sort of protest statement about Trump being there. I doubt that it's because she disrespects Jimmy Carter. It's more because she disrespects Trump. But the funny thing for her, and the unfortunate thing for her, is that there was an empty seat next to Obama, Barack Obama, and that was filled by one Donald J. Trump. And those two just chummed it up really well, and instead made the situation very uncomfortable for Democrats and the elites, at least. And so, if anything, it backfired on her if she was trying to send some sort of message. In the end, it just made her look silly, and it made it look like all the talks about Trump being a fascist also being undermined. So I think it was just a kind of a funny situation. It's, again, one of those things that just boomerangs on them.
Well, funny or not, I can tell you one thing. All eyes also happen to be on what you pointed out, and that is the former President Obama speaking with the President-elect Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If only I could be a fly on the wall, Barack. And I'm curious, any insight, any word as to what that discussion was all about?
I really don't know. It's all hearsay at this point. I heard that there are some sign language interpreters or lip readers, I guess, who were able to parse out some of the conversation. It seemed like they didn't really care whether or not they were noticed about this. So it's all good and fun to play the game. But at the end of the day, they were both smiling, including Obama. He seemed to be reacting in a very positive way to whatever Trump was telling him. And that's probably more important than the content of what Donald Trump was joking with him about. So at the end of the day, they were getting along. And I think that's actually healthy for the country. But it certainly undermines the argument that somehow Trump is a fascist and he's trying to take over this country and impose all sorts of dictatorial rule. It's a new day, and I'm very excited about it for everyone's sake. The economy is going to do great, and I think we just got to give Trump a chance. And he's done it well before, and I think he's going to do it even better this time.
Well, that Barack, and of course I'm referring to President Barack Obama, we still don't know what he had to say. One thing's for sure. We know what Barack Lurie had to say, the political strategist and yet again, the author of Keeping the Kids All Right. Always good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for coming on the show.